Welcome to Author Timeline Thursday with a quote from Ayn Rand. Rationalization is a process of not perceiving reality, but of attempting to make reality fit one's emotions. Rationalization is how we talk ourselves out of doing the thing that we know we need to do. Sitting down today and writing, for example. Hi there, my name is Christopher D'Armani. It is my pleasure, it is my passion, it is my purpose to empower aspiring Christian nonfiction writers to share their trauma to triumph journey using a complete, detailed roadmap for writing success so they can make the impact they know they were born to make. This whole concept of rationalization is simply self-deception. It's lying to ourselves. And to write and publish your book, the very last thing you need to be doing, the very last thing you want to be doing, is lying to yourself. This rationalization is simply an attempt to twist the facts, to twist reality, to match your mood. And your emotions are a fleeting thing. They change like the wind. So trying to fit reality into that, excuse me, doesn't really make a lot of sense. It also the problem with it, though, is that we attempt to bend reality to meet our own whims, primarily as a way of avoiding our responsibilities. So if your purpose is to write and publish a book because you want to make an impact in the world, there's a couple simple things to do. It really, really is easy. I was having this conversation with someone else about half an hour ago. You sit down and you write, and you do that every single day, and your finished book is inevitable. Inevitable. But too often we'll say things to ourselves, feel inspired, and that becomes the reason why you can't sit down and write today. Or maybe it's, well, I'm tired, I didn't get enough sleep, or I was working too late last night, or whatever, so I'll just write tomorrow. Yeah. It's simply, that statement is simply a reflection of your own internal laziness, your own internal lack of self-discipline. Because when you sit down and write every single day, whether you feel like it or not, your published book becomes inevitable. That is simply the pathway to success. And to write and finish your book, you simply must, if this is truly what you want to do, you must set deadlines and then do everything within your power to make sure you meet every single one of them. And the smallest deadline that you have is your daily writing session. I will sit down today at 4 o'clock, in my case, and I will write for an hour, no matter what else is going on in my world. That is the time that I have set aside to do this thing. That is the most important deadline my book ever has, and it's the most important deadline your book ever has as well. Because if you don't meet that small deadline, that little tiny thing today, it's twice as big tomorrow. Bigger than, by the time you get to the end of the week, you have this great big mountain of things that you, quote, should do, but you won't, because now it's too big and it's too difficult. You fail to do the easy things, the simple things, until it became a hard thing. And hard things are hard, right? In Galatians 6:3, Paul warns us against this self-deception in his letter to the Corinthians. For if anyone thinks himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceives himself. So to combat this penchant for laziness, for irresponsibility, pay attention to whatever's going on in your mind in terms of the emotions that trigger this desire to procrastinate. Because once you understand what's triggering this desire to procrastinate, you can solve the problem. When those emotions arise, once you're aware of what emotions it is that's triggering this, once you're aware of that, write those things down. Be hyper conscious of them. And then once you're aware that it's happening, simply thank that thought, tell it to move along, it's really not necessary right now, and then sit down and write. So that your response to the stimulus of the emotion telling you to procrastinate becomes the impetus to have you sit down and write today. Discipline truly is its own reward, and it's also the pathway to your finished and published book. I would love for you, that's it for today. I would love for you to connect with me on social media, and you can do that by going to writingmentor.pro/Christopher, where you'll find links to all my social media channels. And I would love to connect with you on all of those places. And there's also, I would love to connect with you in person, one on one. And so on that, at that link, you'll find a calendar where you can schedule an appointment with me. Totally free. I would just love to have a chat with you around what your writing challenges are today and maybe offer up a solution or two for how to get past them. So with that, have a fantastic rest of